Hello and welcome back to the Kind of Athletic podcast. My name is Kellen,
And I'm Sam.
and today we're going to go over a couple different things. We've got kind of a weird setup today. I kind
A
of
little
it. Last week we went over the NFC predictions. This week we're going to go over the AFC.
Yep.
Kind of with that, we're also going to react to the schedules came out, I believe, last week.
Mhm.
So they were a little bit before, or a little after, before the NFC predictions that we had come out. I want to know from Sam personally who he thinks like the marquee sports teams are in each league.
Yep.
Just the kind of the four main ones. So the
In
baseball,
America, yeah.
Baseball, basketball, football, and hockey.
Mhm.
I don't know if Sam's soccer knowledge is quite there yet. We could try to do England as a joke and see what he would say. Quick update on the NBA playoffs, because those are now getting to the conference finals with, I guess, a couple of
It's getting intense.
maybe a surprise or two in there. I'm not sure. But I think officially all of our predictions for the finals.
I have the Celtics.
Oh,
so
you still have the Celtics. That's right. Okay.
Yeah.
So I was going to say, I think
got a whole whopping one team.
Mine is,
So-
mine's gone with those.
Yeah.
So let's just start off with that, actually. Let's just get right into that.
Sure.
Because we're kind of flowing right into it.
Yeah.
Mine are gone. I had the Nuggets, which
Yeah.
blew a 25-point lead in Game 7
Did not
over the
look good.
weekend. Minnesota is flying. They look a lot of fun.
Out of nowhere, honestly.
I don't know if it was out of nowhere. It was just kind of a weird series.
Well, I looked it up. It was 2-3-2.
Yeah,
So it was
they
like
stole-
just
They
weird.
stole 2 from home, and then
Yeah.
the Nuggets came and stole 2 back, and
Yeah,
then
and then-
one at home convincingly. And then
Just
then Game 6 was the blowout. That was like
Yeah.
That was like at one point like a 50-point game.
it
was
really
crazy.
like
It was weird.
they weren't really great games.
No,
Like,
the only one I think
it was
that was
weird.
good was Game 5.
Yeah.
And then Game 7 was okay. It wasn't bad, but it just seemed like
Yeah, but for a 2-3-2, that's just a weird
Yeah,
way to go.
very
So
strange.
who knows?
But that was a great series, a lot of fun. And I think it brings the matchup in the West really a lot of fun.
Yeah.
With the Mavericks, I think they're both high-scoring offenses, so I think it'll be very interesting.
Yeah, I don't know if I originally said this. I think I said something about Luka and Kyrie that they could be good. So I
100%.
guess that's happening. I feel like I talked about that, but
Yeah, I think
I'm not
you
saying
did.
that I predicted it in any way
Yeah,
because
you
I
did.
didn't. But yeah, it was cool
Yeah,
to
it's
see
interesting.
just because I thought they had a good team with Luka. So
yeah. Well, I think this is the best team. I think we did say that. I think this is the best team he's had around him in
Yeah.
a long time.
Mhm.
And I think it does. I think the good thing with Kyrie is Kyrie's a superstar. He's so good.
and he has a veteran presence now.
Yeah, well, he's
so.
won a ring, so he's kind of got that going. And he's the best ball handler in the league. He's
Mhm.
so smooth and crafty when he needs to be. But I think the best part about him is he's not the guy.
Mhm.
And I think that was a big.
But he still
problem with
can
him.
be,
100%,
which is nice.
Yeah. And that's what I mean is like when he was with Boston and with the Nets, a lot of people kind of looked at him as you are the
Mhm.
primary guy. And not that I don't think he can't be, the guy, but I don't think he wants to be. I don't think he wants that type of kind of pressure on him. So I think Luka does help him a lot with that.
Yeah.
A lot of their young players are playing really well. Their role players are playing well. So it could be an interesting series. It'll be tough to match up with
Mhm.
the 2 7-footers of Minnesota. But
Yeah.
and then Anthony Edwards, of course, that dude's just a freak.
Yeah. Done really well.
He's literally starting to look like the future of. I mean, I know it's crazy to think like the futures, but
Mhm.
he looks like he might be the guy.
He could be.
Going to take over.
Yeah. I mean, they took down the Thunder. I mean, pretty convincingly,
that
4-2.
yeah, that
So
was- they looked good too in that series. And I mean, again, I think that kind of like what I told you before. I think one, obviously, I have a tough spot with Oklahoma City because they
Yeah.
were the Sonics and whatever. That kind of still haunts you. But I think they're just a year too young.
yeah, I mean,
They're
that's
gonna be
what
so
they have
good
so
next
much
year.
talent. So it's like
good. And they
it
have so many
sucks,
draft
but
picks they could trade for.
It's
someone.
insane.
That team is
They are set
built
up.
to be successful for the next 10 years. Going to the other side,
yeah,
Boston, not a shock, obviously.
yeah, they
number
just
1 seed.
dominated.
They look good. Obviously, I think the Cavs shorthanded. Mitchell was out for a little bit,
Yeah,
which doesn't help. And then I don't even remember who they played in the first round. It wasn't the Sixers. That was the Knicks. I don't remember who they played in the first round, but I just remember it not being like it was like kind of I think it was the Heat.
yeah,
It was a kind of a boring.
hmm
Boston just looks good.
yeah. Jason Tatum and gosh, I'm totally
Jaylen
blanking
Brown.
on his. Yes, I was like, I'm
Yeah.
blanking on his name.
When they don't even have like Porzingis, right? Like Porzingis has been kind of up and
Yeah.
in and out, being injured and stuff. So, if he comes back fully healthy, it'll be weird because I think the Pacers are such a surprise to everyone, but they're such a
Yeah.
fast. They're a fast-paced team. Like they just want
Mm-hmm.
to go. It'll be fun to see Halbert and all them kind of. I don't know. It's kind of a different. Like it's just kind of a weird. Like you look at the 4 teams and you go,
You wouldn't really expected this at all.
Boston's the only one you're like, that makes sense. The other ones you're like Minnesota, yeah, I can see it, but I still think Denver and a couple of these.
Oh yeah, I definitely thought Denver would have won that series.
The Mavericks are kind of that same way. Like, yeah, could they get around the Clippers? Probably, but nah. Pacers, no shot. Especially around the. I know that they got lucky with the Knicks being.
Yeah.
And Julius Randle was hurt. Jalen Brunson broke his hand during the Game 7. Like it was just a lot of luck that fell on their side. But it'll be fun. It'll also be cool to me because I remember hearing somewhere this will be any of these teams like their main players. So Luka.
Like the first finals. That is cool.
Well, first ring.
Okay.
A lot of these players have not won.
It's like a new era, pretty much.
You said like Kyrie's won one. I don't know of anyone on Minnesota that I can think of off the top of my head. Like Conley hasn't won one.
Mm-mm.
Boston, I feel like Al Horford should have one somewhere because he's been playing for so long.
Forever.
Like Porzingis doesn't have one. I don't even know who else is on the Celtics to think about.
There's somebody somewhere.
Obviously, there's some dumb player that has one. Same with the Pacers. Like I don't know. I just don't off the top of my head. I'm like I don't know. So it's like Kyrie's like the only one I can think of, which is really cool to me. Kind of shows you like the passing of the torch for
seriously, and you thought it would never leave LeBron, so
or Curry or whatever. That era.
It's kind of fun.
But I think it's fun too because there's just 4 different 3 teams: Minnesota, Dallas, and the Pacers. Thanks for listening to the Kind of Athletic podcast. Be sure to follow us on all of our socials and come back next week for next week's episodes.